What's up, guys? You know who it is. It's your boy Kenny with Jdm Muscle, and that's right, we are back. This is episode 3 of the Nissan 240 LS1 Swap. So guys, as you can see, we've got a lot of parts sitting in front of the car. This isn't even half the boxes. They're getting dropped off every day. We've got radiators to throttle bodies to Y pipes, tusk pipes, all the way to drive shafts, even have the new engine puller. We've got plugs, plug wires, every small little thing you think. To get a 240 with an LS going, I have it, or it is showing up at the house. So episode 3 is gonna be a little bit different. Right now, we have the block just sitting on the ground. There's a couple parts I need to install, but I just can't with it on the ground. So we need to, one, put together the engine stand so we can get it off the ground into the air. So we're gonna do engine stand on this one. We're gonna put the Melling upgraded 10296 upgraded oil pump onto the car. So we're gonna have to pull off the harmonic balancer, pull the old pump off, put the new oil pump on. And then from there, we're gonna have to put the new water pump on, all the assembly, brand new belt. Let's put the motor back together on the stand, and that's gonna be episode 3, guys. So let's get to work. All right, guys, let's get all the parts out for the engine stand, and then we can start assembling. Looks like it is parts required. This might take longer than I thought to get built.
So here, but where is that going? Right here?
Yep.
Why? How do you jack it up? Like, what is that even for?
That's a great question.
This.
Oh, to help rotate this.
I'm looking at my new Hydro brake.
All right, guys, there we go. 4 points. When it comes to this stand, I didn't want just a 3-leg stand. I thought the 4 points would be a little bit better. It is a 1,500-pound stand, so should do fine for what we are trying to do, put the LS on it. It is built, does roll extremely easy. So I'm pretty excited to get it on, guys. All right, guys, getting it off the tire. That's where it's been rusting lately, but we're gonna get it on the brand new engine stand. So let's get it up into the air. We're gonna move it around. That way we can finally get it to the point where I can remove the stock oil pan. We can take off the harmonic balancer, pull that old pump off, put on that new Melling 10296. It's that upgraded pump. So let's pump and pump and pump till we get this in the air. All right, we're gonna leave it about right here. That way we can maneuver it a little bit easier. The last thing we wanna do is run it into the car. Guys, we have the motor on the engine stand. Everything seems to be pretty secure. So from here, let's get that harmonic balancer off and start the oil pump chain. Get the harmonic balancer off. We do have a 24mm big old bolt in here, so let's get this thing off.
If you're watching this video, that means I'm dead. I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. Let's see if she'll pop out.
Come on. Just like that. Thank you.
Like that.
3 seconds.
That's crazy, dude.
All right, guys, and that's what power does, because unfortunately my gun would not do it. So now that we have the bolt out, I did borrow that harmonic balancer tool, so we are going to slowly pull that out. I do have to remove that front cover. Then we'll be to the oil pan. Oil pan has to come off, and then we'll see the... so we use the extraction tool and remove this harmonic balancer. We can remove all these bolts coming all the way down and around. Then we will actually be able to see the oil pump itself sitting there. Now, luckily mine is off the motor, the motor is out of the car on a stand, so pretty easy. From here, I am going to remove all the bolts, 10mm for the oil pan, just because at the bottom of the oil pump, that's right, going down to your tube, is going to be some bolts holding it onto the bottom. Much easier with the motor outside the car than I guess if you're trying to do this job inside the car still. So I'm gonna do this pretty easily in front of you guys. We're gonna break free this 24 right here, take all these off, oil pan needs to come off, and then of course from there that pickup tube needs to come off. Then when we pull this off, we do need to prime these new ones before they go on, but let's get started. All right guys, I'm gonna be honest, breaking this free was not easy. I actually had a buddy come down, Mark, he brought his air tank with his big old 3/4 inch drill, or 3/4 inch gun. Good for 950 foot-pounds of torque. It was able to blow it right off, whereas I could not break this free. So if yours has been sitting, like I said, this is a 22-year-old motor for mine. It was able to blow it right out. Boom, there that big old bolt is. So now that that is out, we'll use the extractor and pull this. All right guys, so we have 11 out of 12 bolts off the oil pan. Let's see if I can do this alone without, I guess, letting it fall. I have a jack stand underneath part of the oil pan to try to help catch it, but I don't know if it's gonna be pretty caked on or whatnot, so I guess we're gonna actually misspoke. There is 14 bolts holding on the stock oil pan, 12 up top, and then the 2 super long ones on the back side. So that's 14 total. I'm pulling the last one off right here. They are long, so I'll show you on camera. I remember starting loosening them, and then I forgot all about these back two. All right guys, so these are the back 2 bolts holding on the back of the oil pan. Set these to the side, and we should be able to remove it all in one nice piece, having the jack stand help a little bit. All right guys, just like that, stock LS oil pan is off. All right guys, now that we're up close, you can see oil pan is off. There's that oil pickup tube going to the front, so once harmonic balancer and everything is off the front cover, you actually have access to those bolts. So now with the pan off, let's take off the harmonic balancer. Now I did use one of the tools from AutoZone, the rentals. Unfortunately, it is not going to work on an LS. They do have a tool that you need to specially order. Here it is guys, you can see that it's actually got these grooves in here, because when you look in the inside here, it is actually round, and I'll show you once I get this off. But otherwise, this tool right here, you'll spin this, holding this, it will slowly press it out. So I'm just gonna put it on, put it in, turn it to the right, lock it in, and then from here, just like so, it's going to tighten up and pull that harmonic balancer out evenly. So let's give it a little try and we'll go slow. Just like that, guys. Oh, almost there. She slipped off. So we're going to put some more pressure and keep pulling it in. Believe it or not, we did end up having to get another type of harmonic balancer puller. This time we did go with the claw style. Unfortunately, the other GM version was just not staying. It was actually slipping off and we couldn't get it. So we do have the claw style. It's basically 3 arms that just kind of wrap around the inside. And as you start to twist this in, of course, it pulls it out. So let's slowly see if this one will work. All right, guys, and just like that, we've got it off. And I'll show you what the part looks like. This is the harmonic balancer bolt remover. Like a little octopus, 3 legs. Just locks in on the inside of it, and then of course as this twists in, it pulls it out. Now that we've loosened up all the timing cover bolts, let's just remove those. All right, guys, one more bolt left. And that's all the bolts holding on the cover. All right, guys, so we have the 10 mil right here connecting to the bottom of the oil pump. We've got a 13 here and a 13 on the back side. Let's get those both off. And then this will be free. Now the oil pickup line is free to come off. Just like that, guys, the old oil pickup line is officially 4 bolts off of the oil pump. Guys, just like that, factory oil pump is off. And you can tell this one is abused and used, which is why we are putting a new one on, because this one is just dirty and trash. Push the new Melling oil pump on. Now I've already used on all the gears on the inside, Lucas Oil, assembly lube. That way there are no dry start issues. So now let's just put it on, make sure everything lines up. All right, guys, so we've got it on. Now that it is on and in place, I'm just going to finger tighten all 4 screws. And then from there, these will be tightened down to 18 foot-pounds, all 4 of these. I did read that it is actually nice to also put the big screw back in and turn this over 360 degrees, just to make sure to turn everything in there. And then, of course, prime your oil pump itself. That is what I'm gonna do. So let's get all 4 of these in, finger tight. Like I said, 18 pounds, and then we'll spin this 360 degrees. All right, guys, let's get these all tightened down to 18 foot-pounds. All right, guys, time to install the ISR pickup tube for that Melling oil pump. The oil pump itself comes with 2 different rubber seals, a green or a black one. Read the directions, it'll tell you what one to use. So let's just put this on and put this one bolt in. Let's get the timing cover back on. Oil pump is tight, pickup tube is tight. So now let's get everything lined up so we can put the timing cover back on. I'm gonna finger tighten everything just to start. And I'll tell you why I'm gonna finger tighten everything in just a second. Couple screws into the timing cover itself. They do make a nice little tool. I got mine off Amazon, I think 20 bucks, to make sure that the valve cover is seated correctly. Just goes right over, slides on, and now we know that when we tighten everything down that the timing cover is going to be right where it needs to be, just because that's going to sit right there. So let's put the rest of these bolts in and tighten it down. All these down, and then at the end I'll go back over and tighten them all to spec. All right, guys, putting the harmonic balancer back on. Sorry, I was in front of the camera. So I basically laid a piece of wood, put this on straight, laid a piece of wood, and I just hit evenly right in the center, probably 15, 20 times to get it started. From there, I was able to get the big screw back in far enough for it to bite. And then from here, I'm just gonna slowly work it in with my smaller drill. Just like that, guys, I'm gonna work it all the way in. And then from there, I'm gonna check the specs. I do believe it is about 200 foot-pounds of torque. I'm gonna have to go to the bigger one and cinch it all the way down, but I am gonna pull this all the way in. All right, guys, so I think this is a perfect spot to end episode 3. So what we have done so far, of course, we pulled the harmonic balancer off, took the oil pan off, we took the timing cover off, we took off this stock oil pump, which was just worn out, old, abused. We don't wanna have oiling pressure issues, especially at the high RPMs. We are going to be drifting this car, so let's make sure we're taking care of it. So this is episode 3 being done, guys. I hope that you stay tuned for episode 4 as we complete the block and put everything back together in episode 4. And guys, if you want to know what keeps me going, hit that like button, subscribe, let me know what you think, as well as support your boy in G Fuel. You do get 20% off all your orders using code Jdm Muscle, one word. Guys, it's my favorite drink, and it's pretty healthy for you when it comes to other energy drinks and not having all the bullshit in it. But this was episode 3, guys, so peace out, and until next time.